Yeah, hello everyone. So welcome to the exercise today, where we will try to understand how to solve the eighth problem in the practice exercises. Okay, now this I have copy pasted on the whiteboard here, which I'll be using to solve the problem. And I will, as I told you, I'll be going very slowly so that you understand the procedure. Now we have completed up to 7, and today we will take up this 8th problem. Apart from these 4 exercises, I have also identified some problems from the textbook. I will try to solve them also. Okay. Now let us first study the problem and understand the background, why we have to solve problems like this in signals and systems. So when we read the problem here, find the fundamental period and fundamental frequency of each of these functions. Okay, now here the important point you have to understand is we have to give the fundamental period. Fundamental period. Please remember, it is not a first harmonic or anything like that. It is fundamental period. Ultimately, it will become first harmonic only. The fundamental period and fundamental frequency, both you have to find. So what is fundamental period? T. What is fundamental frequency? F. Obviously, both are related. So T is equal to 1 by F. Okay. Now, we all know that whenever we have a periodic signal, this periodic signal will have 3 important parameters. What are these 3 parameters? The first parameter is the amplitude. And the second parameter is the frequency, and the third parameter is the phase. All these 3 are important: amplitude, frequency, and phase. Amplitude is not frequency, frequency is not amplitude, phase is not amplitude, phase is not frequency. Each one of them is different. Okay, although sometimes frequency and phase look similar, they are different. Now coming to the finding out of the fundamental period, we all know that any function f of t can be represented using sine and cosine terms. So let us take only one term. Let us say take something like a cos 2 pi ft plus phi. Here we can say a is the amplitude, okay, f is the frequency, and phi is the phase. You can write this in a slightly different way also. Instead of f, you can write it as 2 pi t by t. So then it becomes the time period. So this is the time period. Okay. Now it is very easy to tell what is the fundamental period of this signal. It's very easy to tell. First of all, it is periodic, we know, because cosine is periodic, and we can very easily tell the frequency of this signal is equal to f, and the time period is equal to 1 by f, which we call as t. Very easy to find out. Okay. Now, but it is not necessary that a signal is composed of a single periodic cosine or sine. Sometimes what happens is we will have a function like this. Let us say I have a function called C1 sine, okay, omega naught t, or I will give a much straightforward thing here, a very straightforward way I will give it. Sine, so 2 pi t, so divided by t1, okay, which means the time period of this signal is t1, okay, plus c2 sine 2 pi t by t2. Okay, now these two are added to generate f of t. Now obviously what it means is we are trying to add two signals of different frequencies. The first one is having a time period of t1 or the frequency f1, and the second one is having a time period t2 and frequency is f2. Now, what will be the collective frequency? What will be the will it repeat periodically? Will there be a periodic repetition of some frequency which we will call as t, sorry, frequency which we will call as f, and frequency time period as t? If so, what is the relationship between the time period t and this t1 and t2? Because t1 is different from t2, both are not same. Okay, so the resultant function f of t, is it periodic? First of all, first question is it periodic? Number one, we have to answer that question. Second question is, if it is periodic, if the answer is yes, what is the time period t? What is the time period t? And if is this time period related, then the next question is t, is it a function of t1 and t2? So this is the third question. This is what we should answer using our knowledge of basic understanding of signals or even events that are repeating at regular intervals of time. Okay, now let us say, I will give a very practical example. Suddenly it struck me. Let us say you and your best friend, okay, best friend are in the same city, but you don't know that both of you are in the same city. Okay, you don't know that both of you are in the same city. You want to meet one another very badly. You don't have the phone number also. Okay, now let us say there is one shop. Okay, there is one shop. To this shop, both of you go. Both you and your best friend, both of you are going to the shop. How are you going? Your friend is going, okay, every day. Okay, so every day he or let us put it this way, your friend goes every 8 hours. Every 8 hours, he will look at the watch. Every 8 hours, he will go to the shop. Okay, whereas your best friend, he is going every 12 hours. Starting from the time 0. Supposing time 0 is there, you are going every 8 hours. Okay, you will go after 8 hours, then you will again go at 16, then again you will go at 16 plus 8, no, 24, then again 32. Like this you will be going. So this is a periodic thing. This is, you are repeating every 8 hours. So this is called as the time period. Now, what about your best friend? Your best friend is not going every 8 hours. He is going every 12 hours. Understood? Now, let us assume that both of you are starting at the same time, but he won't go here. He will go at 12 hours here. So, what I will do is I'll use a red pen. Okay. Then I will say your best friend is going. This is 12. When will we go again? Okay, he will go again at 24, like this here. You understand? So what is the meaning of this one? The meaning of this one is we can predict that these two friends will meet in the shop, okay, during the second visit of your friend, and the third visit of yourself. That means at 24 both of you will meet. Is it not? So when will you meet again? When will you meet again? If you try to find out. So this is a common sense problem. This is a common sense problem. When do you meet again? This is 20. This is 8. No, 24, 32. Then here the next thing is 40. Okay. Now what happens here? So here this is 12, and then 12 plus 12, 24. Then again 24 plus 12 is 36. So he will again not meet in this visit. So this is 36. Okay. Now then again 36 plus 12 will be 48. Okay. So this is 48 here. Now your friend, you will go there exactly at 48. So what is the meaning of this one? When you look at these two people, the time period of A is 8 hours. The time period of B is 12 hours. Time period of A is 8 hours. Time period of B is 12 hours. And we can definitely tell 100% that if they are sticking to this time period, they will meet every 24 hours. Is it not? They will meet here. So this is the place where they are meeting first time. Then when do they meet again? 24 plus 24 is 48. They will meet here. Okay. So their meeting is happening at regular intervals of time. Their meeting is happening at regular intervals of time. So this is the thing that the question is asking. What is the question asking? If you have a signal, it is asking find the fundamental the time period here. What is the question here? Find the fundamental period. So what do you mean by fundamental period here? Fundamental period is not 8 or 12. The fundamental period is when 8 and 12 are both happening. Is there any chance that both of them will occur at regular intervals of time? The answer is yes for this particular occurrence. So we will have every 24. The fundamental period T is equal to 24 hours. Okay. Now, is it related to 8 and 12? With a little bit of common sense, we can say the answer is yes. They are related to 8 and 12. How are they related? If you know mathematics, you can easily tell that this T is nothing but the LCM of T1 and T2. LCM of T1 and T2. That means least common multiple. Why this is important? This is important because if I give you another problem where I will say f of t is equal to a set of sine waves which are having individual frequencies like t1, the time period t1 is 2, t2 is 3, t3 is 4, t4 is 5. Like this I am having the time periods. Or frequencies you can take 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. Time period is more convenient to operate, so we are using that. Supposing there are 1, 2, 3, 4 signals which are getting added and we are getting f of t. Okay. Now how did we write this thing? We wrote sine 2 pi into 2 into t like that. Okay. 2 pi by 2 into t, 2 pi by 3 into t, 2 pi by 4 into t, 2 pi by 5 into t. Now will these, when I add all of them, when I add all of them, will I get a periodic signal? Will I get a periodic signal? So I will show that thing. Supposing this is 2. This is happening like this. Okay. This is 3. So 3 is occurring 3 times in 1. Don't worry about the exact nature. It is higher frequency. Now 4 is even higher frequency. 4 is even higher frequency. 5 is even higher frequency. Something like this. Okay. When I add all of them, the resultant signal that I am getting, will it have any periodic shape? Any periodic shape which is repeating at regular intervals of time, like this. Will it have some time period? That is the question we have to answer. Because we already saw that using our common sense, the fundamental time period, T is nothing but LCM of T1 and T2. It goes to show that it has to be the fundamental LCM of T1, T2, T3 and T4. You can check it up. So it will be a LCM of a T1. If you have 4 signals, simply find the LCM of these 4 signals. Okay, so you can simply try to find the LCM. So what is the LCM of 2, 3, 4 and 5? Okay, now supposing I take this one, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we will try to see how to get the LCM. 6 is not an LCM, 8 is not an LCM, 10 is not an LCM. Okay, so 20 is not an LCM. Let us see 30. Okay, so is 30 an LCM? So 30 looks to be an LCM because 2 divides 30, 3 divides 30. No, 4 does not divide. So 35, sorry, we'll have 35 and then we will have to actually calculate the LCM of all. 3 2s 6, 6 4s 24, 24 into 5, 5 4s 20, 0 2, 5 2s 10, 11, 12, 120 is there. So we have to see, it could be 60. Okay, so you have to check all these things. Which is the LCM? Is it 60 or less than that? Okay, do you find anything? So just find the LCM and you will say that T is equal to 60 or maybe less than that. Just find the LCM. Okay, so this is how you have to find it. Now there is a small catch here. So if you are observing carefully, you can pose another question. That is, let us take a function f of t. We use the black color here. So f of t is equal to, I give a signal like sine 2 pi t, 2 pi t plus 2, something like that. Okay, now what is the time period? The time period of this one is equal to 1. So t1 is equal to 1 because 2 pi by t, no? But here if you see, this has to be 2 pi by t. So here pi I have to put there. So this will become pi. So t2 here will be equal to pi, is it not? So t1 in this case is equal to 1 and t2 is equal to pi. Now using our logic, what we are looking at is the time period of the first signal is repeating every 1 unit of time, whereas the second one is repeating every pi units of time. What is pi? Pi is 3.14. It is not just 14, it's a transcendental number, a beautiful constant. Okay, transcendental number. What is the meaning of that one? We cannot, because pi will, whatever way you calculate, the numbers do not repeat. You can't find out any decimal point. It is very difficult. Which means when we don't know what is the exact value of pi, how can we say that it will repeat at regular intervals of time? We don't know where to land this point here. Where should it go? Because 3.1, no, somewhere here. We don't know where it lands. So it lands somewhere between 3 and, okay, So we will simply say somewhere here it will be the point. So when we don't know where it is landing, it is something like telling you are going to the shop every 8 hours, whereas you cannot tell whether your friend goes exactly 12 hours or 14 hours. You will say somewhere between 12 and 14 he will go, and you cannot tell whether it is 12 or 14. Then if you ask whether both will meet or not, how can you tell? You cannot tell that both will meet, because this number is not a fixed number. It is not an integer. It is not a integer. So whenever one of the two time periods is not an integer, okay, or we will put it this way, not one of the two numbers, to find the LCM, both T1 and T2, when you are dividing them, this is the correct way of looking at it. We must get T1 by T2. You must be able to express in the form of P by Q or M by N, where they are M and N are integers, okay, or P and Q are integers. That is the way you have to represent. That is how you have to understand. Now, what is the meaning of this one? Supposing T1 is there. Okay, now T1 is having a frequency of pi, so time period of pi. T2 is having a time period of 3. So what is T1 by T2? T1 by T2 is equal to pi by 3. So this is not a rational number. This is not a rational number. You have to ask the question, is it a rational number? The answer is no. So we cannot find T. We cannot find T. When can we find T? When T1, maybe it is a function of pi, but supposing T2 is also 3 pi, something like this. Then what is T1 by T2? T1 by T2 is pi by 3 pi. So pi gets cancelled. This is equal to 1 by 3. So this is a rational number. So definitely the frequency, the time period of the resultant signal has to be 3, which is the LCM of 1 and 3. But if any one of them is pi, not both of them, then it will not be a periodic function. It will not be a periodic signal. Okay, so that much is enough for the solving of the problems. Okay, so you please try to go through the textbook also, get some general idea about how to find the periodic the time period of the signal, and then you will be able to solve the problems. Okay, so now let us go to these problems and see whether we can solve them or not. They are very simple actually. I'll give you more problems after this. Please remember, whatever I am explaining you, you have to practice again, not only with these problems but some other problems also, and it should become second nature to you. Okay, you should tell that any problem you give, I will be able to solve. It should be like that. Okay, let us take 8A. What is our learning today? If there are two periodic signals, T1 and T2, then if T1 by T2 is a rational number, if it's a rational number, that means what is a rational number? Something which can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers. P and Q are integers. Okay, so then we call it as a rational number. If T1 by T2 is a rational number, then the resultant fundamental period is the LCM of T1 and T2. If you have more signals which are getting added, it will be LCM of T1, T2, T3, T4, any number, no problem. Okay, that is how you have to remember. So using that knowledge, we can easily solve these problems. Okay, now let us take the first one, 8A. What is 8A asking us to do? Find the fundamental period and fundamental frequency of a GT. G of t equal to 10 cos 50 pi t. 50 pi t. Okay, now what is the time period of this one? To find the time period, we should write this in the form of 2 pi by t into t. So this is nothing but 10 cos 2 pi divided by, here we have to put what? We should get 50 in the numerator, is it not? So this will be t, and here we will simply write 25, no? 2 into 25 is 50. So here I can put 1 by 25, is it not? So t is equal to 1 by 25, or f is equal to 25. Now, what is the fundamental period? What is the fundamental period? There is only one sine wave here, one cosine wave. Okay, only one wave is there. So there is no second one. Only t1 is there. No t2, no t3. So obviously for this problem, the fundamental period is equal to 1 by 25. That is t. And the fundamental frequency is equal to 25 hertz. Okay, this you can call it as seconds. T is equal to 1 by 25 seconds, or 0.04, is it not? 0.04 seconds. And here it is 25 hertz. Don't have to do all this. Simply give the number, that's all. 1 by 25. Why we have to give only the number? Because it is not a application course. It is a fundamental, it is a core subject. In the core subject, you have to learn the principles, and when you're applying, there you have to give all the details. Okay, units and what is the result, everything you have to give in the proper way. Understood this thing? So this is having only one signal, so that is the frequency. Okay. Right. Then we will go to the second problem. So let us try to solve the second problem. We will more or less complete it in the next 10 minutes. So it should be over, because I leave some problems to you and you can solve them. Okay, now the second problem is B. Okay, so 8B, G of t is equal to 10 cos 50 pi t plus pi by 4. Now he's asking what is the fundamental period and the fundamental frequency. He's asking. Now some of you who are not practicing these problems very much perfectly, in the examination hall you can get confused. How will you get confused? Array, this is one problem, no? 10 cos, we have solved for 10 cos 50 pi t. We got t as 1 by 25. Now this problem is looking different because he has added plus pi by 4. So you'll start wondering whether how to solve this one. Okay. Now that is why I told you in the beginning that every signal will have amplitude. Both are having amplitude. Both are having frequency. Okay, and both are having a phase. So this is actually the phase term, pi by 4. Whenever t is not there, that means simple angle. This is called as a phase. Whereas in the earlier problem, although the phase is not shown, what you have to understand is he could have just written plus 0. Okay, so what is the phase of this one? The phase of the first problem is 0. So you have to remember, phase is different, frequency is different. So both problems, when you are comparing the frequencies or the time periods, both problems have the same time period. Time period is same because this is 50 pi t, this is also 50 pi t. No change in the time period. So you must write for the second problem also, the time period is equal to 1 by 25. Without any hesitation, you have to write. But if you have not spent enough time understanding the meaning of amplitude, frequency, phase, comparison, solving problems, suddenly in the examination hall, if they give you some problem like this, you will start worrying about what is the correct way of solving this thing. Most of you will face a difficulty because you are going to take the question paper without understanding what kind of problems, what kind of concepts are asked in this subject. Directly in the examination hall, you will be facing these things. Only such students will face difficulty. Otherwise, tell me what is the problem. In almost all the subjects, you are taught about the amplitude, frequency, and phase. So once you are remembering these things, there is nothing else that you have to understand in the problem solving procedure. So for the second problem also, for B also, the time period is equal to 1 by 25. Same thing. You should write same as the first one. Okay. Now that is how the answer goes. Now coming to the C, problem number C, 8C. Again, we have to follow the same procedure. Here, cos of 50 pi t plus sine of 15 pi t. So what is, now you are having two different signals, T1 and T2. Please don't worry about cos and sine. Why? Phase is not important here. Only the frequency is important. Only the time period is important. What is the time period for this one? Time period for this one is, you can write, T1 is equal to 1 by 25. So T1 is equal to 1 by 25. Then T2 is equal to, what is T2 here? T2 is equal to 15 pi is there, is it not? So you can simply write it as this is 2 pi by t is equal to 15 pi. So pi and pi gets cancelled. So t is equal to 2 by 15. So T2 is equal to 2 by 15. So you know T1, you know T2. You know T1 and you know so T2. So what is T1 by T2? So T1 by T2 is 1 by 25. So divided by 2 by 15. So 2 comes here, 15 comes at the top. So what will this become? This will become 15 by 50. So 15 by 50, what is this? So this is a rational number. Okay, if you want, you can write it as a 3 by 10 also. Okay, 3 by 10 is a rational number. So once you know that T1 by T2 is a rational number, then all you have to do is find the resultant time period, which is equal to LCM of T1 and T2. LCM of T1 and T2. Just do this arithmetic and get the answer. Okay. So I'll give you more problems. First, I'll solve the next one, D also, and then I will give you some more problems. Yeah. So then 8D. 8D is there. Here you are having G of t is equal to cos of 2 pi t plus sine of 3 pi t plus cos of 5 pi t minus 3 pi by 4. Okay, with our experience till now, you know very clearly this phase is not at all important. Directly you will take what is T1. T1 is equal to 1 because 2 pi by t. Okay, now what is T2? Here slightly tricky. So 2 pi by t is equal to 3 pi. Pi and pi gets cancelled. t is equal to 2 by 3. So here t2 is equal to 2 by 3. Okay. Now what is t3? So t3 here you have to only take the frequency. T3 is equal to 2 by 5 using the same logic. So 5 pi is equal to 2 pi by t. So pi and pi gets cancelled. So t is equal to 2 by 5. 2 by 5. Okay. So now what you have to do is, here I will leave this problem to you because you are having three numbers. Okay. So t1 is equal to 1, t2 is equal to 2 by 3, and t3 is equal to 2 by 5, right? And then you have to find the LCM of these three. You have to find the LCM of these three. So how will you find the LCM of three numbers? Okay, so you do a little bit of arithmetic here. Okay, this is 2 by 5. So you have to convert them into whole numbers. For example, if you multiply, okay, just a proportion, no? So if you multiply them, you can get whole numbers. Denominators will become 1 and only you will have numerators. Then you can find the value. So how will you find the LCM of these numbers? Okay, so this will be your arithmetic exercise as a homework. Why I am asking you to do this is, you need to spend a little bit of time thinking about all these things so that you remember the formula. You remember the formula, think about these things, and you'll get the answer. Okay, so if you don't get it, obviously in the next round of discussions, whatever problems are there, we will try to give you the support. Okay, now what I will do is, I'll quickly, we'll close in 2-3 minutes time. This is very important, topic, because you can get some problems like this in the examination. So please wait. So please note down the next question. I will give you these questions again here. I will dictate them. Yeah, so this is question number 8E. 8E. So just take down. Determine whether the following signals are periodic. Okay. For those which are periodic, determine fundamental period. Okay, determine fundamental period. So I'm giving you the problem here. X of t, I told you it can be anything, g of t, x of t, that is not at all important here. 2 sine 2 by 3 of t plus 3 cos 2 pi by 5 into t. So you have to tell whether this signal is periodic or not. If it is periodic, what is the time period? Okay. Now then I will give you one more problem. 8F. Check whether the signal xt, again the same thing. Check whether the signal xt equal to a sine 4t plus b cos 7t is periodic or not. Is it periodic or not? If it is periodic, what is the time period? So that is what you have to find out. Okay. Now then there is one more problem here. 8G. So here again directly I'll give you x of t is equal to cos t plus sine of square root of 2 into t. So for this problem also we should be able to find out. Okay, so these are all from the previous things. I think that's all. So these are the problems, you can try it out. Okay, try to understand the basic idea what we have done, and then it should be easy for you to attempt them. So please practice these problems. My suggestion is because you have formed into groups, so I suggest each member of the group watch one problem, try to master that problem and try to explain to the other members of the group. That way you will save a lot of time. So everyone need not spend 45 minutes multiplied by 10 exercises. That will be a very long time. Why I am giving these things is you can discuss among yourselves. Okay, I understood this exercise. So I will explain to you. So like that, I request all of you to start working together, because we are giving you the hints also, and it should be convenient for you to learn these things. So this is the 8th problem exercise which we have done, and 9 and 10 are there. Then another set of problems I'll be giving. Already all the problems are there with you. So I'm going to give you one after another sheets I'll be giving, and if you form into groups, whatever groups are there, you can tell, this video you see and explain to me. I will see this video and explain to you. You don't have to see the video. If you understood how to solve the problem, that is enough. If you don't understand, if you don't have help, then only you should watch the video. Otherwise, I don't suggest watching the video also. Okay, so but solving the problems is important. So from Monday onwards, I'll be giving you model paper and you have to answer them. There is no excuse for that. Okay, so I will now close the recording and then we will call it. Okay, then thank you. We'll meet again in the next video.